course. Everyone's talking about the buzz happening on Sunday night. Oscars will be handed out, and just curious as to how the whole presentation is going to unfold. A lot of controversy going on involving that, but the most important things, those little trophies that are going to be handed out, Jason.
Yeah, and I won't be watching, but I know you will. So
I think it's fun. So we're not the experts, so we brought in our movie reviewers to let us know who or what their predictions are for the winners of this Sunday's Oscars.
Well, coming up on Sunday is the 88th Annual Oscar Award. Yep, away here. The Academy Awards are going to be aired, and Chris Rock is going to be the host. Looking forward to seeing how he handles all the hubbub that's been going around.
We don't watch enough movies to know who may or may not win, but we have a couple of experts in studio with us to give us their Oscar predictions. Good morning, guys.
Hi, guys. How's it going?
Steph and Chad, of course, you always review movies for us, so now we're putting you to the test. Who do you think is going to be winning the big Oscars this year?
Yeah, we're keeping a scorecard here, by the way, just so you know.
Big money on Tootsie this year.
Go, Tootsie. Go. That'd be awesome.
So what do you guys think?
Awesome.
Well, let's go ahead and just jump right into it.
Yeah.
We'll start with Best Actor in a Supporting Role, I suppose will be our first one, which is... there they are, yeah. Christian Bale. I'm looking at my phone because I'm like, I don't know. Christian Bale, Tom Hardy, Mark Ruffalo, Mark Rylance, and Sylvester Stallone. You know, this one here I think is the one that's probably fairly easy, probably the easiest of the bunch for me anyway.
Oh.
If anyone who saw Spotlight, Mark Ruffalo was the emotional center of that film. It really just doesn't work without him. Tom Hardy was great in The Revenant, but I just don't think it was enough to work with. And I think when you look at the body of work in that film, Mark Ruffalo in an ensemble piece is really the one to go with here.
Wow, I'm going to say Mark Rylance for Bridge of Spies. That is the most understated acting. Such an amazing role. He's a spy, and you love him. He's like a grandpa. You just want to hug. So I think he's going to win for sure.
Now, the media buzz is Sylvester Stallone. Do you think that would just be like a sympathy vote?
Happen.
I think that's more the surprise factor than anything else. Is that he turned in a decent performance? What is that all about?
All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Best Supporting Actress then.
Yes.
Best Supporting Actress, we got Jennifer Jason Leigh in The Hateful Eight, Rooney Mara in Carol, Rachel McAdams in Spotlight, Alicia Vikander in The Danish Girl, and Kate Winslet in Steve Jobs. You know, it's really, really hard. It's getting increasingly difficult to vote against Kate Winslet whenever she gets on. I mean, she's kind of, I think she's going to be taking over for Dame Judi Dench in the nomination every year kind of award. But Rooney Mara has been building to a role like this for quite a while now. She's been good in everything that she does. And I feel like Carol's the time where she kind of takes that next step, turns that corner, and becomes kind of one of your next A-list kind of actors to be in roles in the future.
Wow, and I think we're going to disagree again. I'm going to say Alicia Vikander for The Danish Girl. I think the awards so far have been pretty evenly split between Kate Winslet and Alicia Vikander. I actually didn't like Kate Winslet and Steve Jobs. I thought her work was not spectacular. Her accent changed dramatically between scenes, but she's Kate Winslet and she's earned this. So they're just, I feel like she could be a spoiler, but I'm going to say Alicia Vikander.
All right.
All right.
Going up next, we've got Best Actor will be our next role. Bryan Cranston in Trumbo, Matt Damon for The Martian, Leonardo DiCaprio for The Revenant, Michael Fassbender in Steve Jobs, and Eddie Redmayne in The Danish Girl. Here's how I know that the fix is in and that Leonardo is finally going to get his Academy Award this year. I mean, first of all, he deserves it. It's an amazing performance in The Revenant. But of the actors up there, the only one that could really give him any run for his money is Eddie Redmayne's performance in The Danish Girl. But Eddie won last year for playing
Stephen Hawking.
That's who I'm talking about. And really the only actor out there who could actually give Leo a run for his money is Michael B. Jordan for Creed, and he's not on the list. And that's how I know the fix is in. Leonardo gets his Oscar this year.
It's his time. He is so overdue. And if they don't give him an Academy Award soon, he's just going to do roles where he keeps getting these roles where it's more increasingly dangerous for him, and he's going to kill himself for one of these things. So we need to hurry up and let him have one already. It's time.
All right.
Okay, so we agree on that one then.
We do. We finally agree. There you go.
Yay.
We have
How
so
about
much in
Best Actress?
Yes.
Best Actress, we've got Cate Blanchett for Carol, Brie Larson for The Room, Jennifer Lawrence for Joy, Charlotte Rampling for 45 Years, and Saoirse Ronan for Brooklyn. That's I don't care. She's just happy to be nominated. It doesn't matter. Again, Cate Blanchett, really hard to vote against. Really hard to see her name on a list and be like, nah, Cate didn't earn it this year, because Cate always earns it. But nobody did more with less in this race than Brie Larson. Room is one of the most beautifully understated, tightest filmed movies of the year, and Brie Larson was absolutely magnificent in it. I think she gets the award.
Yeah, once again we agree, and she's won everything else coming up to this, but it's basically just her in the room with her son, and it's all about those two, and she is absolutely captivating in a very devastating role. So gonna be tough to beat that one this year.
Moving on, we've got Best Screenplay, we got Best Director.
Yeah, there we go.
Best Director, Adam McKay for The Big Short, George Miller for Mad Max Fury Road, Alejandro Amenábar for The Revenant, Lenny Abramson for Room, and Tom McCarthy for Spotlight. I feel like this is possibly the toughest of the films to kind of handicap. Alejandro did a fantastic job with The Revenant. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous film. It's one of the best-looking films of the last decade. Abramson was great with The Room. Again, it's a very tightly told story and beautifully directed. It takes so much skill to have that little to work with and make a film that's that riveting. But my heart says George Miller. Mad Max was just. Mad Max is so visually stunning, and the fact that it gets so. There's almost no CGI in it. It's done physically. And this is the guy who directed Happy Feet and Babe, Pig in the City. I mean, nothing about what he's done in the last 20 years has portended this. So this was a return to form for Miller, and I think he wins the award.
Gosh, we're going to have to disagree again. I'm going to say Alejandro González Iñárritu is going to win again for The Revenant, and he'll be the first director to have won 2 back-to-back Academy Awards since John Ford in 1940 and 1941 for How Green Is My Valley, and now I'm trying to blank on the other one.
Right.
But it's been a long time, but I think he's going to pull it off, and it's not something that's
this is one of those awards where if he does win, I'm not going to feel like anyone was robbed. I mean, this is going to be, it's a very, very tight race, and any one of the 3 really are very deserving, but I'm going to go with Miller.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of leads us into what do we think the best picture of the year was this year?
Best picture of the year, and first of all, unnecessarily, there's like 94 nominees. But we've got The Big Short, Bridge of Spies, Brooklyn, Mad Max, Fury Road, The Martian, The Revenant, Room, and Spotlight. And again, it's a very, very tough choice. There are actually a lot of great examples up there. Films like The Spotlight and The Martian, people are like, oh, well, they could win. I gotta feel like those are really kind of the just happy to be here kind of nominations. Room was really fantastic. Revenant, of course, like we talked about it.
Yeah.
My heart wants Mad Max to win, but at this point, I don't feel like that we're at a point where the Academy is going to give the award to a film like Mad Max, even if it might be deserving of it. But The Revenant, I feel like, is just so beautiful and shot so well, and the performances in it are all so solid. I feel like that one's going to win the Academy Award.
I think it's a really tight race between The Revenant, Big Short, and Spotlight. I think Spotlight is a contender, and I think it has a real shot at winning. But I mean, if I'm forced to choose, because I think they're all amazing films and so very different and amazing for different reasons, my favorite movie last year was The Big Short. So I'm going to have to say I think it has a good shot of winning. I think it's an important film. I think people need to get out there and see it. And it's a lot of fun for something that's so horrible. It's about the 2009 economic collapse. But yet they have a lot of fun with it and tell it in a really great, unique way. If you haven't seen it, get out there and see it. But I think it's going to win.
All right, well, there you go. So you've got Stephanie's answers and the correct answers. So
we have the sheet right here. We're keeping it right here. We'll compare notes coming up on Sunday to see how you guys do, and then we'll review our notes and reveal our test scores on Monday.
All right.
Sound like a deal?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Well
Thanks,
done.
guys.
We'll be right back.